nomkhulane mama we, nomkhulane nomkhulane, nomkhulane mama we, nomkhulane nomkhulane, nomkhulane nomkhulane, nomkhulane nomkhulane. Thokozeni, thokozeni, Hotep Royals, thokozeni, thokozeni family. How is everyone doing this evening? Thokozani, if you are in the Southern Hemisphere, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. If you are in the Northern Hemisphere, good evening, Bagwantu. How is everybody doing? Please tap the screen. Let's get as many people on here as possible before I start. Today is the 22nd, so I have a couple of major announcements. We are heading into the final season of the African Calendar Month. So I want to introduce the Queen of the Sky, the Queen of the Night Sky, actually. We will talk about Mama Nut, Mama Ntu, the mother of Abantu, so that we can ground ourselves. This is the final month or the final season in the African calendar year. And it's a very, very important time for us in our spiritual journeys, because it is a time for preparation for the African New Year, which is September 23rd, where we welcome Asa Umvuseleli. This is the spring equinox, where we welcome the sun back in the Southern Hemisphere. Somebody's asking, good evening, are you a spiritual teacher? Well, I'll let you decide whether I'm a spiritual teacher. You make up your own mind there. I'm not going to try to preempt you. We have total freedom here. People, you can call me whatever it is you want, but you get to make up your own mind whether you think I'm a spiritual teacher or not. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not a Christian who starts telling you how you must do, how not to do. We are in a very interesting age. Very interesting age. As I said, there's a lot to talk about, but I don't want to be here. Somebody says you're a spiritual mother. Thokozeni, Thokozeni. Much honored. Just remember in future, you gave me that title, okay? So, you gave me that title. I am very wary of people putting a title on you or putting you on any sort of pedestal, because one of the things I'm always aware of is the ego. I'm always very aware that the ego can get in the way of a lot of spiritual growth. Remember, I too am a soul having a human experience, meaning I'm here to do what I need to do, and also I'm obligated to grow myself. So sometimes when people give you a title, or you appropriate or you take on a title, for a lot of people it means, or you start to think that you've arrived. But remember what I've told you about the spiritual journey? The journey is the destination. There is no journey. And anyone who comes to you and says, I have arrived, just know that you're dealing with a scam. Because all of us as we are right now, we are all affected by the winds of change. We are all having to ascend to take the Heru position, which is the eagle's position, which is to rise above all challenges. As long as you're in this physical flesh, you are not immune. you are not exempt. I am not exempt. No guru, no master teacher, no grand master, no prophet, no priestess is immune to the challenges of life. So please, whatever you choose to call me, always keep in mind that I am also a soul having a human experience, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Meaning to say, if ever there's a day that comes and you hear that Mkulu did XYZ, please do not shoot me. Do not crucify me, because I too am here for my own personal and human experience. That is why in spirituality we do not judge, because who am I to judge? I'm on my own journey, and my own journey, I don't know what tomorrow looks like. There may be a big old pitfall for me tomorrow, out of which I must take myself out, and it may not be pretty. So we have compassion for one another as fellow journeyers, as fellow travelers, and you teach me, I teach you. I'm still learning a lot, whether I learn from my life experiences, whether I'm learning from people who have knowledge that I have not had an opportunity to be privy to. You learn from me, I learn from you. So there's, in my own mind, there is nobody greater or bigger or better or more advanced than anyone. The only thing that may make me more advanced is my life experience, and my life path has kind of pushed me in a certain direction. But that is my life path. Your path has experiences and lessons that have pushed you in a certain direction. And I may learn from your experiences and your life path without us having to compare and contrast or be in any sort of competition, right? That is why I don't like playing with people in the spiritual space. I tend to run my own race, because really I'm not racing to anywhere. I'm racing against myself, just like you should be racing against yourself, but also understanding that as you're racing against yourself, remember the African proverb that says, when you go alone, you go fast. But when you go together, you can go further. Always remember that. Ne? So while I could race and take off on my own and go and sit on planet Venus, I'm very well aware that I'll be all on my own on planet Venus. So I hang around so that we all go together wherever it is we're going, right? And we know where we're going. Black unity or nothing else. That's all we're going for. We're going for Bagwantu unity worldwide. So that having been said, let us talk about the goddess Nut. So goddess Nut looks like this. She has a very interesting image. She is depicted often like this, right? So there she is. She depicts the night sky. So when you look up at the stars at night and you see that arch in the sky, you're looking at what our ancient ancestors would call goddess Nut, right? So what are some of the characteristics of goddess Nut? So they say Nut rules the last month in the African calendar. Nut is the end of a cycle, right? In ancient Kemetic African culture, this is a season where we focus on the celestial. The emphasis is on themes of the cosmos, rebirth, and cycles of life and death. Nut, the sky goddess, is arched over the earth with her body, creating the heavens, right? She's depicted as a woman adorned with stars, sometimes shown stretching from horizon to horizon, symbolically protecting the earth and its inhabitants with her embrace. Now, I want to tell you something. That depiction is actually very accurate. When we go to celebrate the new year at that ancient calendar, that 70,000-year-old stone calendar that is in Mpumalanga, which we call Umazisagazi, Enzalo Yelanga, which Height people call Adam's calendar. At that night on the 22nd, because we go there on the 22nd, there's an all-night vigil until the 23rd, where we then see the sun coming up and we greet Umvuseleli Asa. When you look at the night sky, you literally can see that shape that I just showed you. And I will put up a graphic on YouTube so that you guys can see it for yourselves. When you see it in real time, it is the most majestic thing you can ever see. And there you see the Orion belt, the 3 Orion stars, totally aligned with that ancient calendar. So our ancient ancestors in their wisdom understood how to study the cosmos and understood these celestial signs and what they would mean for us in terms of physically what it is that is supposed to happen. So we're going to be celebrating the New Year, September 22nd to September 23rd. It's a 2-day affair. You have to be there to experience it. I think every year I come here and I tell you guys about it. I share pictures, I share videos, and we do certain rituals and ceremonies in gratitude and thanksgiving for the last year that we have experienced. I've taken you guys through this entire year, right? I've come on and done some teachings on each of these energies and principles. A lot of people will call them, where are you in Water Lotus? Where's that? Please do say. So, sorry, I got distracted. That's why I don't like reading comments when I come here to teach, because I then lose my train of thought. But what was I going to tell you? Senior moment. Whatever it is I was going to say, it'll come back if it's important, right? So anyway, this season of Nut. So I was explaining that it's a 2-day affair where we go and we're giving gratitude and thanksgiving, and we do certain rituals and ceremonies as our ancient ancestors did. I was also explaining there, it's back, that these people call these deities. People call these gods and goddesses. But actually all it is electromagnetic energy. It's electromagnetic frequencies. These are the same frequencies that are responsible for you here today. And I think I explain this every single time I speak on one of these deities. Our ancestors used human depiction for them, a lot of them having a human body, but usually having an animal face or something on them, because they linked it to nature. These images were created based on what was being seen in nature at that time. And so Goddess Nut at this time is seen in exactly this. You literally see the arch of stars over Inzalo Yelanga to show that this depiction that you see with her like this. So in Inzalo Yelanga, the stone calendar is usually here, and you see this arch. It is the most magnificent thing to witness. It is the most, if many people have taken pictures, those who have telescopic cameras or lenses have been able to capture it, and it is beautiful. So then we celebrate the new year. So I will come as we go into the new year. Right now, we're going to deal with the season of Nut, and I will come again with a series of videos explaining different aspects of this energy and also trying to show you how it links to what is happening in nature. And then, then we'll start our new year again. Yes, Mpetigazi, yes. And we will then... So somebody said umpetigazi. Mpetigazi, ukuphetha in isiZulu means to end or to close. So umpetigazi is she's the end or the closer, if you like, of the old year before we start the new year. So thank you for that. Master Manifest, thank you for putting that there. I appreciate you. So, what are the things that align us with this season of Nut? I think that's important, and then we can talk about some of the other aspects as we go along. So, the things that align us with Nut, the stone is lapis lazuli, right? Lapis lazuli is the stone. The color is indigo. Indigo is like a deep violet, right? The metal is aluminium. The incense is an incense called Storix. I don't know where you can get that. We get it at home. So when I go home, I'm going home slap bang in the middle of the season of Nut. So I'll be able to get some of that. The tree is the sycamore tree. And the animals are the serpent, the frog, and the eel. And we understand the serpent, right? The serpent is the supreme in terms of divine feminine energy. I always think of Eve and the snake, and how the snake tricked Eve. Like, this is a bullshit story, but anyway, I always think of that, and how the snake or the serpent was demonized the same way that feminine energy or the divine feminine was demonized at the advent of patriarchy, which we know is very un-African. So anyway, that's just by the side. Yes, I love lapis lazuli, one of the most beautiful and actually a very powerful crystal. If you can wear that during the season, it will literally align you and connect you with the energy of Nut. And we will talk about what some of the rituals or ceremonies that you can do for yourself personally in this season of Nut, just to give honor to this energy and this goddess, who, by the way, again, also lives within yourself. So, very interesting. Now, what I want to talk about, we've introduced Nut. Let us talk about what we do this time in the season of Nut. The season of Nut for us is a season of fasting. So starting tomorrow, the 23rd, right? We're going to fast until the 23rd of September. Yeah, this is a long fast. This is the whole month fast. It's important for us to prepare our bodies. It is important for us to prepare our minds and our spirits for the event of the 23rd. Why? Because when we go to sacred sites, you cannot just go there on the sacred ground as if you're some kind of a tourist. You go there with intention. That calendar sits on what is called the golden meridian of time. This golden meridian of time runs all the way from Durban. It runs all the way up to Mpumalanga. Then it runs through the Great Zimbabwe in Zimbabwe, which is that huge Mutapa kingdom. Then it runs all the way to the pyramids in the Sudan. Then it goes and hits the Giza complex in Kemet. This is a very powerful electromagnetic frequency that runs along this ley line. Matter of fact, there's a lot of healing that can take place there. That is why you prepare your body by fasting. What are we doing when we're fasting? Number one, you're detoxing, right? You're getting rid of all the toxins that come with eating animal products. So during our fast, you're going to, now I want you to take note, because there are a lot of people who ask me questions that are redundant. So number one, we're cutting out meat. What does meat mean? We mean beef. We mean chicken. We mean fish. And definitely not pork. Actually, as spiritual people, you shouldn't be eating pork for reasons that I've explained before. So we're cutting out that. That is meat. Then we're cutting out animal products. We're cutting out animal products. What are animal products? We're cutting out milk. We're cutting out cheese. We're cutting out pure butter. I'm not talking margarine, I'm talking pure butter. We're cutting out cream. We're cutting out animal products. Those things come from animals. Why are we doing that? Spiritually speaking, animals and animal products are very heavy, meaning they are very low frequency. We adhere to fruits and we adhere to vegetables because they are of a higher frequency and their nutrition is readily available to the body quicker than is animal products. Animal products take a long time to digest in your stomach and to be processed to produce nutrients. That's number one. Number two, guys, I've told you before, I'm honest. I love meat. But I'm also very aware that the way in which animals are being raised everywhere in the world is substandard. Remember that animals are also sentient beings. They also have a spirit. So when we don't know the slaughter conditions of these animals, we don't know many of them are not even being fed properly. A lot of these animals are supposed to be in nature grazing naturally. But most of them are in pens being fed things that, just like us, like I'm telling you, as above, so below, as within, so without. We're also poisoned and they're also poisoned. The problem is when you eat animal products and the animals have been unhappy or have suffered, you take on that low frequency energy within your body. That is why it's important to remember the saying, you are what you eat. Eat an unhappy cow, eat an unhappy mbuzi, eat an unhappy chicken. Now you tell me, let's be honest, are any of those animals happy with the way we are treating them? The chickens, we are force feeding them growth hormones, antibiotics. They puff up like this, 6 weeks. Are those chickens happy? They're not free, many of them, to run around eating what they know, what they should be eating, which is grain. They're not. So I'm not here to do a documentary on the food industry, but you get where I'm going. For us spiritual people, why at particular times it becomes really important for us to really dwell deep on that. I'm working my way towards zero animal products. I'm working my way towards that. I'm not there yet. I do like a good steak. Ooh. But I am working my way towards that because I should know better. And I do know better. I literally do know. I'm drinking coconut water. I do know better, family. And I'm working my way because I know better, so I'm trying to do better, right? So what is it that we're going to be doing? We are going to be lightening our bodies, physical bodies, because when you eat fruits and vegetables, those are very quickly digested and they exit, right? Very quickly digested and they exit. How many of you suffer from constipation? Get rid of meat, get rid of animal products. Pile on the veggies, pile on the fruits, see what will happen. And make sure you're drinking water. Make sure you're drinking electrified water. If you're drinking, most of our water is poisoned, what can we say? But if you're drinking tap water, drop a couple of, crystals of Himalayan pink salt to mineralize it. Why are we mineralizing our water? Or why am I drinking coconut water? Because this is living water. This is water that has electrolytes, the perfect balance of electrolytes. Because when I drink this water, the electrolytes make it easier for this water to be absorbed from my gut into the cells of my body. It's the cells of my body that actually need this water for the whatever processes that need to be happening, whether it be the processes of what we call metabolism. What is metabolism? Metabolism is the breaking down of food products, not food. Food gets broken down in your gut, but the food products gets broken down into tinier components which my body can then use. So it requires water. Everything happens in the medium of water. Remember that your body is 80%, if not more, water. So really, you're supposed to be drinking a lot of water a day. A lot. So me, I drink 2 of these a day. And I think these are this is 1.5 liters. So I drink about 3 liters a day. And then, of course, I supplement it with the coconut water so that to add the minerals, right? So I've said a lot. I hope it's computing. I hope it's making sense somehow. Now, here's the other kicker with fasting that a lot of people don't get. When you fast, you allow your digestive system, which is the second brain, your gut, your whole intestines is the second brain. If you look at the structure of the brain and you look at the structure of the gut, they look very similar. That is a very important area because this is the seat of your immune system. So digestion of animal products on any given day takes up about 70% of the energy that is in your body. So if digestion by itself takes 70%, what is left for all the other processes that are happening in your body? What is left for your kidneys? What is left for your lungs? What is left for your brain? What is left for your muscles? Very little, only 30% to be distributed. So in the time that you're digesting, digestion takes about 4 to 6 hours. You're only functioning, or your body is only functioning with 70% of its energy. Do you see where I'm going? So when you eat light, a lot more energy goes towards the proper functioning of your body, not just digesting food. We eat a whole lot more than we should all actually eat, truth be told. And we were lied to when we were told that you need to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's not true. That is a story that was sold to us because certain companies in the food industry wanted to make money, aka the cereals company. You don't need to wake up in the morning and eat. Most people aren't even hungry first thing in the morning. You listen to the cues within your body. If we listened to our bodies would even tell us what sort of food they actually want from us. But a lot of the time we're not listening. How many times have you felt like you crave greens? Like, if I could just, today I'm cooking greens. I crave. That's your body telling you that it needs chlorophyll. It needs iron. It needs certain vitamins that come in green. How many times will you say, I miss beetroot. Today I'm going to have me a nice big beetroot salad. That's your body telling you that it requires iron, that it requires antioxidants, because that red color in beetroots, antioxidants. That is why cravings are intensified during pregnancy, because now your body is telling you what your fetus needs in order to be a healthy fetus. Sometimes you crave ice cream, but it's not actually the ice cream you're craving. The ice cream is associated with milk, which is associated with calcium. It's calcium that your body wants, but your brain will tell you you are craving ice cream. Sometimes you're low in energy. You crave something sweet, so you'll crave ice cream. You're not craving the ice cream. You are craving the glucose in there because you don't have enough supplies to supply you and the baby. Taught you some science there. Listen to your body. It'll always tell you what it needs and then follow through. How many times do you sit with some food on your plate and you're not hungry, but because it's there, you eat it anyway? You're doing yourself and your body a disservice because you're giving it that which it has not asked for. But because it's in front of you, if you're anything like me, I'm a foodie. Don't put food in front of me because seafood, eat it. Yeah, I'm on a seafood diet, as some people say. Seafood, eat it. So back to the issue. So when you then have a lot of this energy through fasting released for use in your body, one of the first things that happens is your immune system kicks in. Your immune system kicks in, and the aspect of your immune system that kicks in is what I call the detectives. They're called macrophages. These are little cells of your immune system that go around your body, cleaning out cells that are sick, cells that are dying, cells that are growing abnormally. That is why a lot of people with the big C word for a disease, when they go for holistic treatment, they get put on a juice diet. so that because when you're on a juice diet, there's nothing to digest, right? You drink, it gets absorbed. Not only are they absorbing immediately the nutrients and the antioxidants that their body needs to fight the disease, but it optimizes the macrophages or the immune system to go and attack and destroy all those cells that are growing abnormally, because cells that are growing abnormally is the big C, right? You know the big C, CANCER, that one. So your body is actually healed when you're fasting, because now you've released a ton of these little surveillance, these detectives. They go through your cells detecting, this one is sick, let's get rid of it before it grows abnormally. The DNA in this one is broken, let's get rid of it before it grows abnormally. Because any cell in your body that grows abnormally, this is the beginning of the big C. So when you understand how important fasting is, even for your physical health, you'll take it seriously. We literally should be fasting more than we do. But we take this opportunity for spiritual reasons as well. What are the spiritual reasons? When you take less food into your body becomes lighter. When your body is lighter, you're able to ascend. I'm not talking about when you've got low blood sugar and you start seeing things like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. Because when we fast, we are not starving the body. When we fast, what we're doing is we're giving the body adequate nutrition, not more, not less, because we eat too much. We are gourmands. We like to eat because food is nice. So you're not starving. That is why during our fast, you are not saying from morning till night, I don't eat. No. We don't advocate that. What we say is you might eat something like sorghum porridge in the morning, right? And then throughout the day, you're just snacking on fruits. You're snacking on fruits throughout the day. You're drinking your water. Then maybe, I don't know if you guys do lunch, then maybe at lunchtime, you might have amabele and you might have some greens. Or you might just throw together a little salad, right? As you make your salad, be intentional about the things you put on the salad so that it's nutritious, right? Then after that, you might say, okay, now it's nighttime. In the evening, you have another meal. Portion control is important. You don't want to be heavy. There are a lot of people who say, Gogo, my dreams are blocked. And I ask them, what do you eat? And they tell me what they eat. And I'm like, your body is heavy. Your body is so heavy. And when you go to sleep on a full stomach, such that you've got acid reflux, what are you going to dream? You are going to dream nightmare. Even if nobody's attacking you, you're going to feel like somebody's attacking you because your body is not fully at rest. Therefore, your spirit cannot do what it needs to do. So we eat light so that you can ascend. We eat light so that you focus less on what is physical and more on what is spiritual. This is the final month in which we are inward. This is the final month we're left with Mother Nut and we're left with Unomkhubulwane or Auset before Umvuseleli comes. This is the last month of quietness and stillness. This is the last season in the womb. Make it count. Make it count for yourself. So that when we greet Umvuseleli Uasa on September 23rd, you are renewed, because fasting allows the body to go through a process of renewal. That is why we fast. You see, your immune system eats all those dead and dying cells so that new cells can have a chance to thrive. That is why you find around September 23rd going on into the first 2 weeks of September, many of you, your skin starts to peel. You are in the season of renewal. Ukuvuselela Umvuseleli. That is what that is. So very, very important to fast. Now, I know a lot of people say fasting is hard because they run out of ideas of what to do. I am very simple. Maybe you like to adopt the way I do things. This is how I do things. I make smoothies in the morning. And I'm going to make some of my smoothies. Some of you have seen my little videos where I make my smoothies. I'm going to make my smoothies in the morning with you guys, so I show you. And then I, throughout the day, drink a smoothie. And the way I do it, especially if I'm working like here at my desk or wherever, I just have my smoothie with a straw and I literally just sip on it throughout the day. Then at the end of the day is when I eat something a little bit bigger with vegetables. Mind you, I make my smoothies with vegetables too. So as I make my smoothies, usually what I'll do is sometimes, and I'm not one of these people who say, I'm making a green smoothie or a what smoothie. Hey, that is hide people stuff. I'm okay. But what I do though is I try not to mix my fruits and my vegetables. So what I'll do is avocado is very important to me. Why is avocado good to make a staple during your fast? Number one, very healthy fats, very healthy non-animal fat. Avocado is yummy. If you don't like eating it, put it in a smoothie. You will be full the whole day. Fats are filling. Fats are the most filling of all the food groups that we have. Not carbohydrates, fats. So if you want to give yourself a chance at this fasting thing, make sure that if you make your smoothie or in the morning, you know what? I know one of my mentees, she eats everything with avocado. In the morning, she'll slice up a banana. She'll put an avocado. She'll mix it. Tastes good. When she used to do it, I used to look at her and go, but how banana and avocado? Let me tell you something. She throws on a little bit of aromat or a little bit of salt. There she is. She's good to go. And you can get your minerals in, put in some Himalayan pink salt. You've taken in your minerals, which your body needs to stay in balance and so that you can absorb water right into your cells. Yes, you can eat beans. Beans are very good for you too. So when I do my smoothies, usually banana, usually avocado, usually if there are strawberries, a strawberry. If there's watermelon, I'm throwing in that watermelon. Sometimes I use just whatever fruit happens to be in the house. But what I like to do in preparation for my fast is every week, I make sure at the beginning of the week, I get all my fruits in so that I am not tempted and so that I don't fall off the wagon. So I take my fast very, very seriously. So I bring in all the fruits and then I have them there and then I have no excuse. I can either eat them like this or I make a smoothie that lasts me, like I use a big blender. And then I have like 3 or 4 bottles of a smoothie that'll last me all day. Here's the other trick that I'm going to teach you guys that I do when I do my fast. Remember, we are detoxing, ne? We're also trying to heal the body. This is when I am vigilant about my supplements. That is where I'll put in a tablespoon of ntolwane. That is where I'll put a tablespoon of moringa. That is where I'll put a tablespoon of umganu. Like I eat imiti. I supplement that way because if I'm assisting my body with the rejuvenation and the healing process. So what tends to happen then is if there was some part of my body that wasn't doing well that I wasn't aware of, my supplementation with herbs is now healing that area. And the healing is assisted because I'm fasting, because I've removed all those animal products. And so my medicines, my herbs, get absorbed into my body more efficiently and quicker without being trapped in the animal fat and then I poop it out. They actually have a far better chance. And because I'm drinking a lot of water and I'm drinking living water or mineralized water, it gets absorbed into my body. By September, we will be glowing. We usually glow in September because, we take this fast very seriously. You feel good. If you are somebody who suffers from inflammation, this is the time to deal with that inflammation. If you're somebody who suffers from joint pain, arthritis, this is the time to deal with it. Get on top of your supplements. There's that anti-aging supplement I love so much, Mafavuge. Mufandi Chimuka. Height people call it the resurrection herb. You know what I do? I make a tea in this, and then I use that water plus coconut water to make my smoothie. I'm big on the supplementation. I'm not playing, so that the skin is smoothie, because that is an anti-aging herb. I'm not busy going there for collagen injections and for Botox. I'm not going to do that. I've got the herb. I've got the herb that brings to life that which is dying, that which is aging. So I talk to my tea and tell it, hey, when we want to glow. So you do what you got to do. Then I mix my stuff, I put it in my smoothies, and I'm good to go. Yes, somebody is attesting to this. The resurrection herb is a herb that you find in Southern Africa. In fact, I don't know if you find it in South Africa, but I know that in Zimbabwe, definitely. That is where I get mine. Somebody is saying that they sleep so much better when they don't eat animal products and animal. Absolutely. Because that's the other thing. People think that you can sleep on a full tummy, but it doesn't mean you're resting. Right? You can sleep for 9 hours after eating a whole pile of pasta. But the reason you're sleeping is because all the blood has drained from your brain and has gone to digesting this massive food, meatballs and pasta, and you're just a slug. But it doesn't mean that you're going to sleep well. You're going to rest. You're going to be knocked out because there's not enough blood coming to your brain. It's all stuck in the gut. That is another thing that happens to you when you're fasting. You become more alert. You know that fatigue that some of you feel, or that brain fog, it clears. Why? Because you've released most of the energy to the functioning, the overall functioning of your other organ systems, including your brain. Right? So, I hope that this has been helpful as we start our fast. Yes, I do do you recommend a full day fast for someone? I do intermittent fasting. I don't, look, it depends on underlying medical conditions. I always, my thing is this, your body better than I do. If you can do a full day fast and be functional, there's nothing wrong with that. But I would not make it for the full 30 days because we're going from the 23rd to the 23rd. I think that, I don't know how many days, 30 days, whatever it is. That's a long time to be going on a full day fast. That is why I always say, please do not starve yourself. Because number one, if you starve yourself, by day 5, day 6, you won't want to do this anymore. Because you'll see, you'll start like, everywhere you look, you start seeing a steak or a chicken, or we don't want that situation. We don't want you also focusing on food because then it defeats the whole purpose. We want you full, we want you comfortable, but then we also want you ascending and we want your body healing. That is it, right? So there are some people who can do full day fast. I don't know. We're not in a Christian fast, family, because I always believe that some of the fasts that Christians do are supposed to torture you. We're not about torturing. You know what I mean? We're not supposed to be miserable with it. We're literally we're trying to live intelligently. And so sometimes a full day fast may not be the most intelligent thing to do, especially if you're somebody who suffers from, what you call this blood sugar inconsistencies. You don't want to be so blood sugar that you pass out somewhere, right? So be sensible, be sensible. It's not supposed to be torture. It's not supposed to be, oh my God, I'm fasting. Or every time you see someone eating something, you start salivating because you're starving. No. And once you start focusing on food, we've lost the plot, because really what we're supposed to be doing is we're supposed to be focusing on our inward spiritual things. Some of you might feel that a fasting is also a letting go process. Some you might want to use the next 30 days to do some inner child healing while you're on your fast. It all works together beautifully. Yeah. Because by the end of that, then you can let go. Yes, your body is letting go of trauma. Your body is also letting go of your body. When you start your healing, I know it happened to me. When I started my inner healing journey, my body let go of fat. My body released the fat because the body does what the spirit feels it needs to do. When you spiritually or psychologically or emotionally, you feel like you need to be protected or you're in defense mode, it shows up in your body. Your body pads itself because really adipose tissue is for protection. It's for protection against the cold. But the minute you start healing those traumas, you'd be surprised that with minimal changes to your diet, you will shed the adipose tissue, you will shed the fat because your spirit registers that you no longer need protection. And since your body is an offshoot or an extension of your spirit and your soul, that will go too automatically. Ne? So I hope this was of use to you guys, family. Do you do healing sessions? Yes, I do healing sessions. There is a number that is on a pinned post here. If you need to get in touch with me, please just WhatsApp that number. Please do not phone me because most people who call me get blocked. Just WhatsApp, and then there are instructions you can follow that'll take you through to wherever you need to go. Ne? This is Bella Oshun. Oshun, are you Oshun's daughter? Mind you, we're all Oshun's daughters, but some are Oshun's daughters more than others. All right, my family. Black Nation, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm super excited. I love new beginnings. I love I love renewal. We have a great opportunity here for renewal. Let's take it. Let's take it with both hands. I will be here coming on to encourage you when I do my little TikToks with my recipes and stuff. I'll be talking to you about what is going on, spiritual things. I'll be talking to you guys about what's going on in the spiritual space, like the current surge of spiritual psychosis. Ha! Hey, have you seen? There are many kings and queens and kingdoms and you are and grandmasters and aliens that are showing up in this age that we're in. Spiritual psychosis is real, family. It really is real. And because I know where it's coming from. And I think maybe tomorrow, if I have a chance to, I will do a teaching on spiritual psychosis. I did a short one some months ago. And I told you guys, didn't I warn you? I think it was 6 months ago or so. I warned you guys. I said, spiritual psychosis, as we go on into this age of Ma'at, spiritual psychosis is going to be on the increase. What is happening now? Lost Kingdom of Scotland is coming with a king. With a king and his 2 wives. We have another one who just pronounced that he's an alien. Listen, amakhosi azoboya. There are plenty kings. So maybe I should do a teaching on spiritual psychosis. So I really explain what that phenomena is because there are many messiahs also here. I am Yeshua. I have come to save you. Yeah. Family. Oh. Yeah, I think I'll do a teaching on that. I will try to be serious throughout the teaching because it's very serious business, family. We cannot be laughing at serious matters. Hi, Bo. Hi, Bo. But on that note, family, I have introduced our great mother, Nut. And hopefully you've learned a lot in a short space of time about the benefits of fasting. Ne? Let's do this. I'll be there to hold your hand. So we can go together. I told you I don't want to go and sit on Venus by myself. Like, it doesn't make sense. Let's all go and sit on Venus together. I love you, Bagwantu. Love you, Black Nation. Until next time. Master was in.